Well, welcome to the back deck once again. And the tune we're going to actually have a crack at today is Melancholy Blues. Quite an oldie, brought out in 1927 by Louis Armstrong and his Hot Five. And this recording was a game changer for jazz. Recordings were in their very early stages, and all of a sudden people in general could hear the wonderful sounds coming out of New Orleans style jazz, and just about every tune on that recording was fantastic. In case you're not a member of Banjo Hangout, you might want to join, because on the 4-string forum of Banjo Hangout, Eddie Davis, my good friend, everybody's good friend, has put up a topic called Just a Good Old Jazz Tune. And the tune in question, of course, is Melancholy Blues. And Eddie does a wonderful version of it on his tenor banjo, and also Marco Levi from Italy does a wonderful version on tenor as well. So you might want to check those two out, as well as my version here on plectrum. And also on the 4-string forum, I'll have this music up of Melancholy Blues for you, so you've got no excuses if you want to try it. It's all there in front of you. You can play single note melody if you're not up to playing the chords with the melody. You can play just the chords and maybe have a bit of fun. Just one thing I'd like to touch on before I leave you today. Most people are under the impression that the melody line in a piece of music is always played on the top string on plectrum banjo. It's a question often asked on the 4-string forum: are all notes played on the top string? Of course the answer to that is yes and no. We can play a tune relatively all on the top string, depending on its scale and where it goes to, or what I tend to do a lot of the time is play it down an octave, and that gives us more opportunities to expand a little bit. So in the melody line of this tune, when I first play it on the recording, I'm up here, I'm in this position here with a C on top. But in a later part of the video, in the actual bridge, I go down here. So that gives us an opportunity to play it a different way. And the bass part of the banjo, I think, comes up beautiful. So all we're doing really is playing our melody underneath the harmony instead of the melody on top of the harmony. And another thing I tend to do in this video a little bit, which I'd just like to go into, won't take me a minute, is bending strings. I do a bit of bending. It's a nice blues sound, as well as pull-offs and hammer-ons. And I'll just give you an example of what I'm doing. If we played an open G chord and went, I've just pushed that note up to a D. So if I played it with the D, it'd sound like this. It takes quite a bit of pressure to do that. But I've pushed that C sharp up to a D to be in line with the D open string. So if I play it with the note of E here on the D string, and the note of E flat here, and push the E flat up to the E, that's what it'll sound like. But if you want to play it as a single note, hear it there? I just push the E flat up to the E. So it might take you a little bit of a while to get it right, because it takes quite a bit of pressure. And then you can play with a harmony note actually on the top string, like. That takes a bit of doing too, but it's all practice. So that just about wraps up Melancholy Blues. I'd just like to show you something here. I bought this poster back in 1994 when I was at a Fretted Instrument Guild big camp meeting in New Orleans, a FIGA convention actually, and I'm quite proud of this one. I bought Louis back as a poster here, and I had it framed and it hangs on my wall inside. It's a wonderful shot of Louis, I think. A penny for your thoughts, Louis. So all the best, and I hope you enjoyed Melancholy Blues, and better still, I hope you get something out of it. All the best, and bye for now.